Hi everyone. So today I'll teach you how to use Java to develop programs, how to programming in Java. So we can see Java is the popular programming language which is created in 1995. It is now owned by Oracle, and more than 3 billion devices run Java. So Java is a very important, very important language. So let's start to learn Java. So firstly, we need to new or project in Java. So what I'm using now is the IntelliJ IDEA, which is the best tool for Java. So now we new our Java project, which is we can choose from the project, and it is can be any project. So we can use like learn Java project, and we choose the Java here, and this is the IntelliJ IDEA, and we can choose any version with the 2021, which is the latest version. We can also choose this. Okay, and then we select all of that at a sample code. Yes, we select that, and then we click the create. Then it will help us to create a simple object. A simple object which we can use to we can use to some project we can debug our code. So actually the SIC we moved to a new package. Yeah. So usually it should move into a package. So for example, we create a package here, which is like action international. It's like Shendo International. It's just an example. So we have a package here, and we move the class inside the package, and then we click the refactor, and then this class is moved inside in the package. So this is the provided code snap, which is automatically generated. So we can see it's just a very simple program here. So we can run the program. We either can click here or click here, it's same. So for example, we click here and click run main. So now it is running, and we got the result on the console, which is very clear. So this is the very simple program. So now we start to learn Java in detail. So we click here. This is a tutorial online. We can use any tutorial, but we can also use this. So this one is something installed on the command line. Command line, which is like this, install here. So you type the Java version. So we Java -version here, and then it said okay. the Java version 21. Okay, I will give the Java version, which is LTS, which is long time support, long time support, which is the long time support version, LTS. Okay, and this is some setup steps. So we don't need that, because when you install the IDE, the integrated IDE, like IDEA, everything is configured for you, so you don't need to worry about that. So we recommend to use the IDE, like IntelliJ IDEA, to develop Java, since for other if you use the command line, you still can coding in Java, but that is very inefficient. So what we recommend to use is to use the IDE, like the IDE, which is like Eclipse or IntelliJ IDEA, but IntelliJ IDEA is much more powerful actually. So we choose the IntelliJ IDEA. We use the IDEA to usually we use the IDEA because it is very efficient. Okay. Okay. So the Java, we can see the first example is the main. It gives us some main class and main method. This is one sentence, and then we can print out the hello world. Okay, let's look at the example in the code, which is auto-generated by the IDE. Okay, so in the IntelliJ IDEA on Mac, I use the IntelliJ IDEA on Mac. So when you double click this, you can see it is shrink to this window. But you double click it here, it will fit into the window. It is very good, very smooth. It fits inside the window. Okay, let's do an analysis on the code. So the first one, package, which means the package, right? Which means the package here, but the dot. So which one is a folder? Which is a folder on the disk? Okay, so the whole part of this one is a package, which is the package name, right? And also, so the public class main, which is the class, which is a class name called main. Okay, but each class, no matter what the class is, it has a main method, which is the entrance of the whole program. So the public static void main string, this array and args. This line of code is fixed and steady for all Java programs. So this is the entrance of the program. So the program will start to execute from here. Okay. Then system.out.printf, which means to print the content inside this, to print this. The F means printf means print this line, and then to change a line, printf means to change the line. But usually in Java, it uses like ln. So which means you print this line and you change line. Usually is the ln at the end, right? So you can see it also uses the ln here. ln, which means the change line. So go back to this one. So this one means change the line, right? So you click and run it. You can see it come here and change the line. Okay, which is perfect. Okay. So all those party which is comment, so we can delete it for now because we don't need that. We don't need the comment, right? We don't need that. So you choose that and click delete. You delete that. Okay. This is brick brown, and we can also delete that. And then so we can see our first example. So everything is the same except this line of code. So we put it here. So we can do a analysis here. So system.out, which means the console, which means here the console, right? Dot print line, which means print this string here, and then line means change line. So we can click here and click run. Okay, it said a hello world, right? Hello world. Also, you can click here. So you can choose here, choose which is the main file, right? And click here, which means run the program. We can see we got the same result, which is hello world, right? It's a pretty simple program. Okay, next part. So this is the first lesson actually, right? So a second lesson, which is the output and print method. Out, which means output, and print line, which means print this line, and then you change the line, which means change line. Okay. And then we can have these 3 lines, and then we copy and paste it here. So this output the first line and change line. Second, it will print this line and change line. And this one, we print this one and change line. So let's try it. So we can see on first line, it print out hello world and change line. Second line, it print I am learning Java and change line. And third one, it is all same and change line. So we got the expected result. And then we print the string, right? So the double quotes is needed. Because the double quotes is needed. If you missing the double quotes, so for example, you print like this, and then we're missing one double quote, it will, you can see it's show the error here. It cannot compile, right? So when you click this one, it says okay, this one need some grammar check, right? So it must be a double quote here. It must be a double quote around the string. What if it is a single quote? Is that okay? We can try it. So you can see single quote is not good. It shows the error here. So it must be a double quote. Must be a double quote in Java for the string. Okay. And then the print method, which is a print. Okay, so this is very easy, right? So we can see the next next chapter. So the print line. What about print numbers? What about print numbers? So print numbers, you can see print the number. You can actually you can try the numbers, right? You can try the numbers. So when you print that, you can see we can directly input numbers and it can print out, right? So this is a string, this is a number. You can directly input the number. A third one, what about like this? You write some expressions in the in the print line. Is that good? So we can have a try. Okay, it gives us the results, right? It gives us a result. So when you put some calculation, the mathematics calculation expression in the print line, it can directly give us the results. Okay. And what about this is the sum, right? What about multiply? Multiply, it is the same. So when we click run, we can see the multiply is also okay. It's also good, right? Multiply is also good. Okay. Then we go to the next chapter. Or the Java comment. Comment means a single comment, which is with a single line comment. It starts with 2 forward slashes. So which means it is double forward slash, which is like this. So you click here and you input 2 double slash. If you input more, it is the same actually. So you just input 2 double slash, which is a comment. You can comment out those code, or you add some explanation of the code. For example, this is the default. This is the first Java program. Yeah, it's like something like that. Very, very simple, right? It's comments. Okay. So command, you can write it at the end of the also you can write on the top of the code or at the end of the code. So for example, at the end of the code, you can write here. Okay. So this is a comment, right? This is a comment, and this is on the top, and this is on the right side. So it's all okay, right? Okay. Then we multi-line comments. We start with the slash star and with star slash. This is very very easy to understand, right? So for example, you put here, okay, you can see this is a multi-line comment. So for example, here you slash star, okay, which means from here it will all go inside the multi-line comment. So you click star slash, okay, slash star and star slash. So you can see it is a multi-line comment, which comment all those multiple line code. This is called the multiple line comments. Multiple line comments. Okay. Okay, this is very easy to understand. Let's go to the next chapter. It said Java variable. Java variable. So Java variable, actually it has some fundamental variables. So it's like a string, int, float, char, boolean. Okay. So we need to learn them one by one. So this is the Java variable, and how to declaring variables. For example, type, variable name. and equals value. Okay, type variable name and equal value. For example, so this one I copy and paste into our IDE here. Okay, copy and paste in our IDE here. So string is a type, which means a string type. Name is a variable name, and John is a value. So we assign the value to the variable, and then this type, the type of the variable is string. So we output the name, and then we can see what happened. Okay, it's John. So the value assigned to the name, which is the type of the name is string, and then we output the name, which is John. Okay, which is very easy to understand, right? And what about second example? Okay, let's copy and paste into the IDE, and here we can see the type of the variable is int, which means it is the integer, which is int. Okay, it is 15. Assign the value 15 to the variable. So then system out to the print line, and then we click the run. It is the 15. Okay, so the value for the variable is 15, and this for the variable is John. So this one is string type, and this one is the int type. Okay, and then check the value of num from here. Okay, that's it's a third example. Okay, that's third example. Let's copy and paste here. It shows the arrow. So it said my num is already defined in the scope. So previously we already defined it, but the Java won't allow you to define it again, because it you can see it is not good. It's not okay. Why it's not okay? Because Java think there is a conflicts. Java treats those two are different, right? Because the Java compiler thinks you use two different variable, you try to use different variable, but use the same name, which is conflicts. So it won't allow you use the same. So if it is defined, you either use it or you define another with a different name. So we can see it's a report error here. So we delete this one. Okay, now it's good. So in my num equals 15, which is a 15 value assigned to my num, and then 20 assigned to my num. So what will be the result? Right? Because first you assign 15 to it, but now you again assign 20 to it, then its value become 20. My num is now 20, right? So first you assign 15 to it. Okay, this value actually contains 15. It points to 15, right? But then you assign 20 to it, then this one remove the pointing to 15, but pointing to 20 here. So the value changed to 20. It will discard the 15 and receive the 20. So the system out when you print it is 20 now. So we click run, and it is 20. Okay. which is very easy to understand. The final variable. It said if you don't want others or yourself to override existing values, use a final keyword. Then this will declare the variable as final or constant, which means unchangeable and read-only. So this one, the final, which means you made something final, which means we copy it here. We can see we made something final, which means it cannot be changed, which means nobody can change it, right? So it said my name is changed. Okay, we delete this. Okay, so we define this 15, but it said okay. This is wrong. Why not? Why it's wrong? It said cannot assign a value to final variable num. Why cannot assign value? Because it's final type. Final means nobody can change it. If you define something as final, it can only be assigned once. After that, nobody can assign it again, because it's final, because the value cannot be changed. Okay, so when you assign another value to a variable which is final type, it will say will generate an error, cannot assign a value to a final variable. So the final here is very, very important to remember. Okay. So other examples, copy and paste here. Other examples, which is other examples. Okay. So this one we just deleted. Okay, because this is just want to demonstrate you the final keyword. Okay. So we copy and paste here. So the number 5, it is the int type, right? Float, it's a float type. Float type, how to denote float type, which has a f, at the end, which means it's a float type. So this f is very important. So this is this is char type. Char type with a single quote, which is a char type. And the boolean type is the true or false. It only can be true or false. Okay, it can only be true or false. And this one is string type. So string type which has a double quotes. Okay, it has a double quotes. Okay, then we go to the next chapter. So Java print variables. So the print line method is often used to display variables. Combine both text and variable to use plus character. So how can we output a string and a variable? So this example. So this is a string. So we want to output the string with another string, right? This is string and this is a variable. So how to connect them? How to concatenate them? We use plus. We use plus in Java. This may be different in like Python or some other languages, but in Java it is very simple, and we use plus. Okay, and then we click that. We can see hello John. Why there is a space here? Because in the hello we can see there's a space here. right? There's a space here. You can see this is the space. This is space. So when you output that, it will be a space here. Hello John. Hello John. Hello John. Okay. This is hello John. Okay. Then another example, how to deal with the strings. We can see this example. We copy and paste into the IDE first, right? And do the analysis. So it said the first is a string. First name is John with a space here. And string last name is Do. So string full name equals first name, which is here, and plus last name, which is here. So we use the plus to concat two variables. So the first variable is John space. Second variable is Do. So we plus them together. Then we system.println full name. Okay, then we click the main method, and then we got the John space Do. You can see there's a space here, which is come from here. So this is the space. So this is how to connect two string variables. Use plus. Use plus. Okay. So for numeric values, the plus character works as the mathematical operator. Notice that we use int integer variable here. Okay. So we try this, copy it, and then we try it in our IDE. Okay, I'll copy and paste here. So the first variable, which is int, which is 5. Second variable, which is y, which is 6. So send out the println x plus y. So this is 5 plus 6. 5 plus 6, which is 11. 5 plus 6. 5 plus 6, which is 11. So we use plus. We use plus inside the println function. It works as a plus in mathematics. So when you click run, you can see we got 11, which means the 5 plus 6, which means this calculation obeys the rules in mathematics. It print the value of x plus y in mathematics. Okay, it's 5 plus 6, which is 11, which is very simple, right? This is int, and this is int type. But what if this is int and this is string? What happened? What would happen? Will that be correct? No, it said no. You cannot assign. It said you cannot assign an integer to a string. But what if you put the double quotes here? Will that be okay? Or it seems not okay. It seems okay, right? It seems there's no compiling error. But when you run it, will that be okay? Okay, it's still okay. It's still okay. But in previous very old compilers, it will show error. It will throw error here. But we use the compiler of 21, compiler 21, which is the most powerful, most up to date, most new, which is the newest compiler, which is 21. So it didn't give us an error, which is very good actually. But in the old compiler like Java 6, Java 7, Java 8, or Java 5 or something, it will definitely give an error here. So, which means the type is different, you know, the type is different, but this is compiler 21. It works it works so good. Okay. So we go to the next tab. Next step is that declare many variables. It said to declare more than one variable of the same type, you can use a comma separated list. Okay. You can say that int x equals 5, int y equals 6, int equals 50, and system printout, which is x plus y plus z. You can simply use int x equals 5, y equals 6, and z equals 50, and you can also got the same. Okay, let's copy and paste it into our IDE, okay? And then to see how we can run it. Okay, so we can choose and paste it here. So it is int x equals 5, y equals 6, and z equals 50. So instead of 3 lines, we can put it into 1 line, which is use the comma, y equals 6, okay, and comma, and z equals 50, okay, equals 50, and then we delete these 2 lines, so we can even write them into 1 line, and then we can see we can run in another line, and this is no problem, and then we run it. Or we can go the correct result, but I give a warning here, which says declare y and or following declarations on separate line. So this can be work, but which is not very good. So usually we can see the Sonalin said decline y and following declarations on a separate line. So this is actually not good. It does still work, but which is not very good actually. So the compiler suggests us to define it into several lines. Okay, so this way can be work. So you write it all 3 variables in a line, but there's a warning here. You can see it says Sonalin suggests you declare y and following declarations on separate line. So you click this one, and we rectify it into several lines. Okay, so it's better to use several lines, which means it's better to use several lines, not 1 line. Okay, and if you think the alignment or spaces don't same, you can see these have space and these don't have space. You can Command I in Mac to select all of that and click Code and click Reformat Code. Okay, you click this. You can see now it's the format looks much better than before, which has the space, which has the same space here. Okay, this is another thing. So it said one value to multiple variables. It said you can also assign the same value to multiple variables in 1 line, which means int x, y, z, and you assign all of them to 50, and then we got the result. Okay, then we put it into the IDE. Put it into the IDE. Okay, put it into the IDE. So you first to define 2, 3 variables. Then you assign all of them to 50. So 50 assigned to z, assigned to y, assigned to x, and then finally you get the summation of them. You got the sum of all of the 3, but still it gives us a warning, and it says declare y and following declaration on a separate line. So this is also not a good way. You can write it like this, but it is not a good way. It is not suggested to write it like this. But it says 1 value to multiple variables. Yeah, it can be written in that way, which means that when someone else write it in this way, you must to understand. Oh, okay, it is the same with separate line, right? But when you write the code yourself, you should not use this style, because this one is not just the way to do. Okay, so we can see Sonalin declared suggests us to declare on separate line. So we click this one, and Sonalin will automatically rectify it into separate line, okay, separate line, and then assign the same value. Okay, assign the same value, and then we got the final result. Okay, you can see it's 150. Okay, which is no problem. It said exercise fill in the missing part, create cerebral sim type is a comma separate. Okay, this is very simple, right? Which is a comma, and this is the sim type we use int, right? So which is the int? We submit there, submit this one, submit. Okay, it's correct. So very simple program. And let's go to the next chapter, which is Java identifier. It says all Java variables must be identified with unique names. These unique names are called identifier. Identifiers can be short names like X or Y, or more descriptive names like age, sum, total volume. Note, it is recommended to use descriptive names in order to create understandable and maintainable code. Okay, so how to define a variable name? The variable name actually is called the identifier. Okay, so we put the code inside our IDE. Okay, it said int minutes per hour equals 60. Okay, but not so easy to understand as m equals 60. So m, when you use m, other people may not know what do you mean by m, right? But if you write minutes per hour, everybody, when they read about the code, they can know the meaning, which is how many minutes per hour, which is 60 minutes. So this naming is good. This naming, I mean this identifier of the variable is much better than this one, because this one is minutes per hour. You can know what does this mean. Okay, it's 60 minutes in 1 hour, right? But if you just use one character m, then nobody should know what does this mean, right? So this one is not good. Okay. So let's go to the next chapter. So still we can see we have many chapters further, right? So the Java data types, as explained in previous chapter, a variable in Java must be a specified data type. So in the a variable must be a specified data type. So for example, the 5, which is int, right? My name is int. This one is float. This one char, boolean, string. Okay. So let's copy it into our IDE. Okay. And paste here. Then we can say int, which means integer, the whole number, right? Integer, whole number. Second one is float. You mean the floating point number, which you must use the f. For example, if I don't use f, you can see it'll show arrow here because it said you require float, but you give a double because you have 2 digits after the point. It is double, right? So it said convert literal to float. So you must have a f here. You must have a f, right? Okay. So you can see this is not correct, and this is correct. So you can use small f, or big F is much better. Small f is still okay. Okay. Which means it's a float type. Then char, which means it is the character actually. Character in Java will use single quote. Boolean, which is boolean type, which is true. A string, which is a string type, which is double quotes. Okay, which is very easy. It said data types are divided into 2 groups in Java. The primitive data types include byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, and char. So it is byte, short. So it is a primitive data types which are byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, and char. And non-primitive data types such as string, arrays, and classes. You will learn about this more in later chapter. Okay. So this part. So actually, for these 2 sentences, you must remember those sentences. Okay. So these 2 lines. That's a command A. Okay. These 2 line of sentences is very, very important. It can appear on any kind of examinations, or interviews. So you must memorize those 2 sentences always. So the interviewer may ask you, what is the primitive data types? What is the primitive data types? You should see it's byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, and char, right? And some interviewer will ask you, how many primitive data types in Java? So you could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. You can say 8 kinds of primitive primitive data types. Okay, so another question the interviewer may ask you is that is string the primitive types? No, string is not. String is not primitive data types. And he may ask you is array or classes are the primitive data types? You should say no. Arrays and classes and strings are not primitive data types. Okay, so there would be many interview questions on those two lines. So you need to remember it carefully. Okay, so it gives the definition of those primitive data types. You can see how long will that be, right? Then doing the exercise, so this one equals 9, which is the int. Okay, this one we can see it is f here. No matter how many digits here after the point, but it is had f here, so no, we know it's a float. Okay, and this one is a char, right? Because it's a single quote, which means it is a char. And this one, true or false, which is the boolean, right? Bool. We can see in ID, it is a boolean, B-O-O-L-E-A-N. Okay, B-O-O-L-E-A-N, which is a boolean. And this one, we can see it is double quotes. Then we should input like string. Okay, we submit the answer. Okay, well then we submit the answer here, which is correct. Okay, which is very simple. So we go to the next one, which is Java numbers. It said numbers, primitive number types are divided into two groups. It said one group is integer types. Integer types, which means stores whole number, positive or negative, such as 1, 2, 3, or -4, 5, 6, without decimals. Valid types are byte, short, int, and long. Floating points represent numbers with fractional parts containing one or more decimals. There are two types, float and double. Even though there are many numerical types in Java, the most used for numbers are int and double. However, we will describe them all as you continue to read. We will describe them all as you continue to read. So, the integer types, which is byte. The byte data type can store the whole number with a very small range, right? They said byte minimum is 100. System out print byte. So we can have a try. Let's put it into the IDE. Okay. So we can say byte 100 equals byte, and then we output it, and then we go to 100 byte. Not very often to use byte actually. Short is the same thing. We don't very usually to use short. Very rare case. Int we should learn it because in most cases we use int. Okay. Long, which means that it's a very big range. You can see long is a very big range. Very big range. So when you use the long is very often used in Java, I think. long and int is very used in Java. So we can put it into the IDE, and then we put it into the int. You can see. Then we can see the difference. Okay. So, for example, this is my num, and this is the, because it's already defined before. It showed an error. It said my num is already defined in the scope, so it is not permit to use the same variable name. So we add a 1 here. So it's different. So it's different, right? So the first one is int. We can see it's this number. But the second one, which is long, which has L at the end. What if we delete L? Okay, it shows the error. It said integer number too large. So this number is too large for an integer. So we must to add a flag L here to make it to let the compiler to know it this is actually not an integer, which is not an int type. It is a L type, which is long type. Okay, so for the long type, you must have a L at the end. L or small l. Small l is not good, you can see. Small l is definitely not good. It must end with the big L. With big L. Okay. So when we click the min, we can see it is two variables. So this one you change to 1, and output you should also change to 1, right? Okay, we run it. Okay, you can see this is 1, and then output this, and this is this one, and then output this. Okay, so previously we added 1 to this variable name, but we forgot to add 1 here. So this one it print here, so which is not correct, right? So when we add 1 at this variable name, then we need to add 1 and add this variable name. So which is much better. Okay. So the long type and the floating type. Floating type, which denote some like pricing, like something has the decimal part, which is a float part, right? So it's already defined, right? So we get a 2, and this also get a 2. So which means differentiate with the previous variable name here. Okay, and then we got a double. We got the double here, and then we also put it into our IDE. Okay, this is 3, and this is becomes 3. Okay, because it's corresponding to here, right? So we can see for the float, it has the f at the end, which is float type. Okay, float also can change to f. F is no problem, right? Or it is a small l. No, not small l, which is small f. So small f is also good. Small f is also good. Big F is also good. Okay, big F is also good. Small f is also good, which shows it is a float. It is a float variable, and this one, which is a double, which is a D, double. So double, and then it is become a double here. So this is float and this is double. Okay, it's very easy to understand. Okay, so the scientific number So a floating point number can also be a scientific number with an e to the indicate the power of 10. Okay. So for sometimes when you need the scientific denote, so in like some scientific calculation, you also need the scientific denotion. So which is the 35E3F. F means the float. E3 we mean E to the third. E to the 3 means the order. And this one also 12E4D, D means double. E4, which is E to the 4. E to the 4. 4 means the order. So in this case, it is a floating. It is a scientific denote. You can see it will mean the e to the indicator power of 10. E to the power of 10. So e means 10. So the first one is the e means 10 square. 10 to the 3. 10 to the 3, right? Which means 10 a square of 10. This one is 10 to the 4, the order 4. Okay. So this is actually not used very often actually in Java. So the Boolean type, which means very often in programming you will need a data type that can only have one or two values, like a yes or no, or off, true or false, something like that. So for example, so in those scenarios, we use the Boolean type to denote that. Okay, so we put the code into our IDE to check here. Okay, so the first one is Java fin true, so which is Boolean type, and this finish test t, fit test t false. Okay, which is Boolean type, which is it is true or false, yes or no, or something like this, black or white. Yeah, it's like it's something to describe like this, right? So anyway, to output the value, so we put the Boolean here and put the Boolean here. So we click the run. We can see, okay, first is true and second is false. Yeah. So this is the Boolean type. So this is the Boolean type. So so today we briefly talk about the introduction of Java and several variables and data types. And from next lesson, we'll continue learning Java efficiently. We can learn the whole Java in one day. And this lesson is finished. Thank you. And see you in the next lesson. Thank you.